do you feel like we don't learn about John Brown in school? Because he's a major part with helping, you know, the Civil War even come about.
Well, I think I can tell already that you're smart enough to know the answer to that question, which is that if you tell the story of John Brown, you have to tell the story of slavery. And you have to tell the story of how many white people were complicit in this terrible crime. And one of the things that's really, really difficult about being an actor and playing these roles is you have to imagine that you're there and really put your body and spirit there. And the more you learn about slavery, the less you want to know.
Yes.
It's worse than you think. And there's a reason why parents don't want to teach their kids, because it's awful. It's an awful, horrible crime, and it's the economic backbone of the birth of this nation. And there's a reason why people didn't, you know, the people funding your school system and my school system growing up didn't want you to think too much about that. And, you know, interestingly enough, it also tells you that people can change the world.
Yes.
The men who took over Harper's Ferry, black folks and white folks working together, took over the largest armory in the United States of America and started the Civil War. And there's just a handful of them. And there were a lot of women that made that happen, by the way. You know, one of they think she was probably the richest black woman in America, was giving money to Frederick Douglass to give to John Brown to make this happen.
Very funny to see Frederick Douglass in this light as well, because we've never seen him, when we always see him in movies or anything like that, we've never seen him with, you know, drinking a lot and messing with a lot of women. So what made you see, show us Frederick in that light as well?
Well, the truth of the matter is Frederick Douglass had a black wife and he had a white mistress, and they lived in the same house. Now, you know, if I did that, that's true.
No, I'm saying I didn't know that. That's what I'm saying. I didn't know that.
Well, you know, there's a lot. I mean, part of the reason you do historical fiction on television especially, is it gives people a framework to figure stuff out that they might not necessarily know otherwise.
Do you feel if it wasn't a Harper's Ferry, do you think that, I guess, would it not have been a Civil War?
That's 100% what I think. And again, I didn't learn about Harper's Ferry until I read McBride's book. Basically, like, I knew of John Brown, but I didn't really know anything about him. I didn't know about him and Douglas's relationship. I didn't really know much about the mission other than that it was a mission. But like, there's a reason I think that we're not taught that, right? It is a small group of people, like a small sort of ragtag group of people bringing the country to its knees in order to abolish slavery, with the goal of abolishing slavery. What that showed to the country was that the Civil War would work, right? Nobody believed that it would work before. And then John Brown did this and was like, if we can do this plus how many other people could actually make this change, right? But nobody believed it before. The reason I think that we are not taught that is because it shows us that it takes very few people to actually change the direction of the country if you believe it strong enough. And that's a dangerous thing for status quo. It's a dangerous thing for a power structure that wants to maintain the same thing. So instead, we'd be like, the Civil War happened because Abraham Lincoln wanted to free the slaves, which is not true. Like,
right, correct.
That's not why that happened. But that is much more functional in order to keep us not questioning the party line.